photographer named Ton. He is out celebrating at a party and he's drinking and stuff, and he gets into a car accident with his girlfriend Jane, and Jane is driving and they hit a young lady, and Tun's like freaking out. They're both freaking out, and Ton convinces Jane to just drive off and not stop. And then they just leave her lying there. Then later on, Ton is developing his photographs, and he discovers that in all of them there is this white shadow in the corner of all of his pictures, and what he thinks are faces, and the movie is just about him becoming increasingly more paranoid as the faces in this white figure consistently show up in his pictures. It's really creepy because things start happening outside of the photographs, which are kind of making him look insane.
Also, the dead girl's manifesting herself through photographs, and that's kind of
a
weird thing.
He can, from what I remember, he can only see her in his photographs at first, which make him look crazy. It's really it's very atmospheric. It's
the best kind of a horror movie. My number 7 is my John Carpenter film, Halloween. Which I know you're not, it's not your favorite slasher movie. It's my favorite slasher movie.
I can understand why.
I think it sets the bar for slasher movies. Because it has all the ingredients of slasher movies, including horny teens, who are all smart, and independent women. It's not like they're all screaming. They're screaming. And there's a killer who's got a backstory, and the reason he's scary is because he just won't stop. He is a killer, psychopathic killer.
It's one of the first slasher movies too.
It's the one that made them popular, because right after let's capitalize on success, and then they shot out Friday the 13th.
And then all the sequels.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Halloween though.
In the late 60s, early 70s, a little boy on Halloween night, Michael Myers, murders his sister. He's locked away in an institution for 15 years, 12 years, 15 years, 16, I don't know.
I think it's 15.
And throughout the years, Donald Pleasant's character, Donald Pleasant plays a doctor who's been trying to help him throughout the years, mostly to try and reach out to him, and then the last few years to keep him locked up.
Yeah.
Because he knows that
if he gets out.
No, he just wants him to stay there because there's no good in him anymore. He's evil. There's his eyes are dead. There's nothing to reach out to. So on a Halloween weekend, Michael Myers escapes the institution, and Donald Pleasance has to track him down back to his hometown, where he seems to be heading. And we cut to a group of teenage girls, of course.
Surprise!
The lead, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think her first role, or at least one of her first roles.
Them,
Michael Myers begins stalking a trio of girls, and as Halloween approaches, he goes on a killing spree. That's pretty much the premise to a lot of slasher movies.
Yeah.
That's the essence of a slasher movie. But this is the best one because the jump scares work. John Carpenter directing again. He's got the lighting down. He knows how to shoot this kind of thing. And all the women, whether they particularly Jamie Lee Curtis, who plays the virgin character, the one who's not going to be killed because she's not
the one that lives.
The one or does she?
Or does she?
And I really respond to Donald Pleasance's character because he's playing sort of Van Helsing type.
Yeah.
He's out to vanquish evil, and he has some very great lines of dialogue about Michael Myers being pure evil.
Yeah.
Which, well, we won't necessarily. And John Carpenter co-wrote this with Deborah Hill, who I think is producer for everything, and she wrote most of the women dialogue, and John Carpenter
you can tell.
wrote because all the women talk like women do, all the men talk like men.
Because they're people in this movie.
That's why they matter.
Yeah.
So you don't want them to die, and like all the kills are well shot. Like this is, it ranks up there with the best horror movies.
It's true.
Even though it's independent and it's low budget, like there's not a lot of gore
this
effects.
is the best slasher film.
There's
It's
not
not
a lot of gore.
necessarily my favorite.
Yeah.
But that's for whole different reasons. But I appreciate this movie very much.
It's kind of old school because it doesn't rely on gore. I can't remember a single drop of blood.
No. Not till the sequels.
What sequels, Megan?
The
What are you talking about?
sequels, the 2,000 of them.